Hello everyone, and welcome to part 6 of solving quadratic equations. Okay, I have to apologize for this one. This one is just not fun. So let's say that you have a quadratic equation that looks like this. We have 5w squared plus 13w plus 6. That's what we want to factor. Now, the reason I'm calling this the ugly coefficient section of solving quadratic equations is because of this right here. That 5 in front of our beautiful squared variable, that is an ugly coefficient. We don't want that to be there. We want that to go away. But we can't suck it out because 5 doesn't go into 13 or 6, at least not evenly. And none of our other tricks that we've learned work. So we have to learn another trick. So this one is complicated. Yes, I will tell you that. It is complicated. I will also tell you that it is way easier than the way I learned in school, which was basically guess and keep guessing until you get it right, which works out pretty well, except that, sometimes quadratic equations aren't solvable, and that means that you would have worked for hours and hours perhaps and not gotten it right. Very frustrating. Okay, so this is a little bit better than that system. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make a calculation. Please notice that I label it as a calculation, so it doesn't look like it's part of my problem solving, which comes next. So my calculation is I take this first term with the ugly coefficient, 5w squared, and I multiply it by the last term, which is 6. 5w squared times 6 will give me 30w squared. So this is my little calculation that I need in order to do the next step. So I take this number, 30, and now I need two numbers that multiply together to make 30, but add together to make 13. So this is just like we have done before. This middle term we have to add to get together. But this time, instead of looking for 6, we're going to look for this 30. So what are our options with 30? Well, we could go with 6 and 5. Would that work? Well, 6 times 5 equals 30, but 6 plus 5 only equals 11, and we need it to equal 13. I could do 15 and 2, except that gives me 17, not 13. I could do 3 and 10, and hey, ding, 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 ding. That one works. So now, watch what I do. I rewrite my original problem, 5w squared plus, and I break this 13 up into these two numbers. So this becomes 3w, so I'm keeping the w, plus 10w, and then I do the plus 6. So that's what I've changed here. I changed my 13w into 3w plus 10w. Now I have a polynomial with 4 terms. You're thinking, Mrs. DeLisi, you are not making this problem easier. You are making this problem harder. Yes, I know you think that, but hold on, dear one. All right, so we slice this equation in half, and we deal with just the first half. What can we do to simplify this first half? Well, we can suck out a w, so let's do that. So that leaves us with w times 5w plus 3 on this side. Now we move to the other side of the equation. We put a plus sign. What can we do to simplify this? Well, we could suck out a 2. All right, let's do that. That leaves us with 5w plus 3. Oh, can you see how the planets are starting to align? I mean, it's not pretty, but look it. We've managed to get our term inside the parentheses to be the same. So now we can suck out that term. So 5w plus 3 times w plus 2. We look to make sure that we cannot simplify anymore, which we cannot, and we are done. Now again, I'm not going to make you do the check for these each and every time. You are going to use your own best judgment about when to do a check. But I'm going to do this for you right now, just so that you can see how it works. 5w plus w gives you 5w squared. 5w plus 2 gives you 10w. 3 times w gives you 3w. And 3 times 2 gives you 6. We're going to combine these like terms. 5w squared plus 13w plus 6. That is the formula that we started with, which means we are happy campers. We have managed to factor this very ugly equation with our ugly coefficient. Let's just do one more example, and then you'll have a whole your turn to play to practice. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's say that we have 8x squared minus 13x minus 6. All right, so first we look to see if there's anything that we can suck out, or if there's anything that we can, do, and there's not. We have this ugly coefficient here that's going to ruin everything. So we need to do a calculation. Our calculation is to take the first term, which is 8x squared, and multiply it by the last term, which in this case is negative 6. And that will give us a negative 48x squared. So now that we have this number, this negative 48, we need to think of two numbers that multiply together to make negative 48, but add together to equal negative 13. So what are our options? Well, we could go negative 2 and 24, but that won't work because that just gives us 22. We're looking for a negative 13. What if we did negative 12 and 4? Those multiply together to equal negative 48. And that gets us closer. Negative 12 plus positive 4 is going to give us a negative 8, which is closer than we were when we were at 22, but is not exactly where we need to be. What else goes into 48? Well, I'll tell you that you could do 16 and negative 3. 16 times negative 3 gives you negative 48, but that gives you a positive 13 answer. So, being the smart girl that I am, I'm just going to reverse the signs on that, and now I have a negative 16 and a positive 3, and that will work. So I rewrite this first equation, 8x squared minus 16x plus 3x minus 6. So again, this negative 16x plus 3x is the same thing as my negative 13x up here. All right, then I whack my equation in half. Whack. And I think to myself, okay, looking at just the front side of the equation, is there anything I can suck out? And the answer is, why, yes, you can suck out an 8x. Okay, I will. So that leaves me with x minus 2. Then I go to the other side of my equation, and I can say, what can I suck out? Well, I could suck out a 3. And that would leave me with x minus 2. And glory, glory, hallelujah. We can now suck out x minus 2. 8x plus 3. And now we have factored our big, ugly coefficient quadratic equation. Okay, good luck. These are harder than the others.